Anyone else think that these meter boxes need a complete redesign? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in as always. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe down below right now because it makes me well happy and all that. So today we're going to be doing it's sunny out here today. We're going to be doing a mains change, which is quite an enjoyable job, but I know this one's not going to be that enjoyable. Why, you may ask? Well, you're about to find out. God, I need an haircut. Lockdown life. Right, what I do, head over there. I'm going to be using the mains board that I ripped out of that job on a couple of videos ago. You've probably seen it. Now I know what you're thinking. Name the movie quote. Yeah, so yeah, I know what you're thinking. Someone suggested in the comments that I should donate this to a college, and at the time I did try, but they were closed. And then when I booked this job in, as soon as I book a job in, I like to order my gear for it, just to make sure that I've got everything, it's ready to go, even if it's like a month in advance or anything like that. I just like to get hold of it, keep it in my storage. So yeah, at the time, I don't know if any of you have ordered anything from Fusebox, but the stocking is they were quite hard to get hold of, the stuff that you needed. And I was there trying to source a Fusebox consumer unit, and then the whole time I was just thinking, but I've got one sat in my lockup. Do you know what I mean? So stuff, I don't want any like water damage to it, or it start rusting and it just go to waste as well. So if it can't be, it's no good it just sitting in there, it's just a waste. So I'm going to use this. It's actually the old style now. They do a newer one. This has still got the double SPD, and believe it or not, I think these are actually built better quality than the newer ones. This lid hangs over, it's got like a lip there. The new one sort of like cuts around there, so you like trying to pick at it. Anyway, luckily I never even got a chance to label it up at that recording studio, so it's all brand new. The rear knockouts are in, but I'm pretty sure that the knockouts, where it's going, is going to go in rear entry. So yeah, that's why I'm using that. Right, we're here, we're on the job, changing why we're changing it, and then I'll give you some little intervals as and when. Basically, that's the mains board. The house is actually not that old. It's all nice decor and stuff, and then you've got that ugly thing. So, why does he want to change this mains board, you may ask? One, it's ugly. It's like nearly brown, it's so yellow. And everything else is nice, freshly plastered, decorated and stuff, so that's pretty ugly. Secondly, only this half's covered by an RCD, the other half's not. So he knows all about RCBOs and stuff, so he wants to put them all on RCBO so everything's protected. And the third reason, they're looking at building an extension, possibly later on this year, and obviously there's no room there for expansion. Metal one that's going to stay white, plenty of spare ways in it, and yeah, all covered by RCBOs and surge protection, that's the word I was looking for. One little difficulty, or a couple of difficulties that I'm slightly expecting is I'm hoping that this mains board, I'm hoping the cables come through the back and not from the top, because I'd prefer mine to be coming through the back, of course. So hopefully they come through the wall and not through the top. And like I said about the main switch and the meter tails, we're outside meter box, them tails go up the cavity. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. This door wasn't missing when I came and looked at this job the first time, but now it is. But yeah, hopefully I don't have to refish them cables up to there. Looks like we've got a circuit coming out of the back of that as well, going somewhere, but we'll have a look at that. Is it just me, or does anyone else think that these meter boxes need a complete redesign? Because like 90% of them that you go to, the doors are broke on them. There's like, it's not just a couple, it's not just every now and again, it's almost every single one of these cupboards is broken in some way. They need redesigning. That they obviously they don't work, do they? So welcome to where I'll be working for the next couple of hours. It's on one of those lovely heights where if you take one step down the ladder, you're not quite high enough. You step up the ladder, in a bit of an awkward position. So we'll see how we get on. I'm going to take a step down though for now and give you a little tour of the existing board. It's not too bad, to be honest. This little rogue circuit coming through the back could cause us a little bit of an issue. The tails are pretty short, they just whip straight in, and obviously I need them to be over there. And the cables do come through the top there, so hopefully we've got a bit of length on them. It is a dot and dab wall, so maybe hopefully I can pull a bit of length, just chop out a bit of the plasterboard and bring them in the back of our board. Hopefully. Other than that, it's actually quite neat and tidy. But what are these brands? Could anyone comment below what is this brand? Get or Schuper? Where did anybody ever get it from, and does it still exist? I know there's actually another local electrician who needs one of these for a job, so I'll give him one of them. Well, I'll give him the only one of them. Yeah, right, so I'm going to mark it all up now, strip it out, hopefully get a bit of length on there. Gas and water is bonded, I've checked, that's the water there, the gas just goes from the meter box to the other one. Yeah, right, I'll strip it out. Right, that's all stripped out now. Unfortunately, that there was the only one I could pull a bit of length on. Everything else that's it, there's nothing on anything. If I was doing this from the beginning with a ceiling above, I'd shove a bit of extra length up there, and then it helps, doesn't it, for the next person. This here could be a bit of an issue. Tails, I'm not sure. I might try and fish some up. The earth's fine, the earth's massive. It's just the tails that are not very long. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, whether I'm going to try and get them in the back by chipping out some of the plaster because it's dot and dab, or am I going to try and take some of the ceiling and go straight in the top. I think the top is going to give me the most length on the cables. I've got a feeling this isn't going to be the neatest board because I'm like some of them, like that neutral there is that is going right there. Like it's got nowhere else it can go. Possibly a couple of joints inside the mains board, but we'll see. Right, so after trying to get it as neat as possible and see what I can actually do, I've decided, obviously once this pushes back, I just need to leave a tiny gap at the top for the lid to sit on. This will push back nicely. I'll show you what I've done now. Obviously I've not put grommet strips or anything in, I just wanted to mark up the fixing holes. I'm going to have to make a new fixing hole at the top corner because that cable that went through the wall there is now just whipping across here, so it's going to be in the way of that. A couple of them may be a little bit short. It's not a problem, I can just extend them. Obviously in an ideal world you wouldn't extend them, would you? But it's a mains change, and what you're going to do. This one is just going to the alarm panel. That needs extending, but I'm not going to bother extending it. I'm just going to put a new cable in there. Gonna say, so yeah, so I'll just cut out this a bit more, so that's where obviously the knockouts are in the back of mine. I'm going to see how loose they are because I'd like to, rather than just having them just stretching, I think they will reach I'm going to try and replace them. I'm not going to bother trying to replace the earth because that's massive. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it mounted. I'm going to try and fish these meter tails down. And I'm going to replace that piece of cable that goes there because it's not that short. Oh, the reason I didn't go for the top entry, and probably the reason why I can't pull any slack on the cables, is because there's a joist. Can you see it? It's right there, and they're on this side of that joist, so like there's like a finger, maybe a finger and a half gap. So if I try to drill holes in the top, it's just right into a joist. So we've got no choice but come in the back. Right, we're up there, we're mounted up. Couldn't get the tails up and down, and I didn't want to risk taping onto them and pulling them and it failing miserably and it undoing. We should have enough length on there anyway. So we're all mounted up. Obviously not that one, that's the one that goes to the panel, but we've got our new one in there. The tails should be long enough, just about, just some rejigging around. Obviously the earth's plenty, in fact I'll probably cut it down, and so is the water bond, which is plenty long enough. This is the good thing about the RCBOs, all these neutrals over here, if they had to go over there they wouldn't reach, but obviously all these neutrals can go straight into these RCBOs. I think the only things that may need extending is a couple of these earths, realistically. It just depends how far the RCBOs come over before I start running out of space there. Someone in one of the videos asked me what were these green washers all about. They thought they might have been some type of intermittent kind of washer, which is actually a brilliant idea if they exist. That's not a bad idea, to be honest, but they're nothing special. They are just, in fact, yeah, they are special. They are special. Special to me. They're just company colours, that's all. Just a little touch. Like I said, I had to move that hole down to get a fix in because it's a bit riskily close to where that cable crosses over. So I've just moved it down. But yeah, just company colours. That's all it is. So meter tails do reach gladly. Don't worry about it. They're not under any strain there. They're not stretching or out. There's actually a tiny little bit of slack in the back of that wall. So that's that. I've wired up my neutrals and my main earths and bonding and the SPD earth and stuff like that. So now all I've got left is just the circuits to go in, and then obviously connect that back up there. What I'm going to do is, I was just trying to figure out where to put my RCBOs in position now to reach, but we've got like some 32 amp circuits and 6 amps and stuff coming in over here, some coming in over here. Obviously there's that there. I don't know what circuit that one is there, but there's a couple of really short ones there. So all I'm going to do, because I've not really got much choice, I'm spending too long trying to think about this. I'm just going to put the RCBOs where I want them, in what order I want them in. Most of it will reach. We'll just see how many need extending as we work our way through them. That's going to need extending no matter what, and so is that one there. That's going to need extending no matter what. So those fancy little insulated mirrors that people use to check underneath the buzz bar. Well, I don't have that luxury, so I'm going to show you what I do to make sure that the little, is it called a cage clamp? The cage clamp comes over. That's basically what I do. Stick my phone on there with the reverse camera. I use my impact, but don't worry, I don't tighten them with this. It's just quick, just to get in there. Use the torque screwdriver at the end. So I get that one tightened up, that one tightened up, and then you can see that first one there is that one, and then let me just see where I want to, and then as you can see, as I go along, I just slide me. It's a bit hard with one hand, but I just slide it. I don't tighten them at all. Just slide it over as and when, just to make sure that each of the clamps. I missed one. So yeah, you get the gist. And then obviously I go over with the torque screwdriver. Right, just before I go, we're banging the ring mains into 32 amp breakers. Just going to be checking if we've got ring continuity. So we've got R1 of 0.30. Obviously the neutral should be exactly the same, hopefully. Get that on there. 0.30, good. And then the earth should be, off the top of my head, I'm going to say about 0.52. I'll have to get my calculator out and work that out anyway, but that was a pretty good guess. Right, give you a little rundown where we're at. We're sort of halfway there. Don't worry, this is isolated on the outside. There is an isolator. This cable here is for a shower that was in an ensuite bathroom, but it's not there anymore. I've been up in the loft and found the end of the cable. It's just got connector blocks on it. The new shower in the ensuite is now fed from the boiler. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect the block all them together and leave them in the board. Make them safe. Probably tidy them up in a minute. I've got the ring final circuits. That's them three. So you got your kitchen, your downstairs and your upstairs ring. Got them done first to get them out of the way. I've also tested them completely, other than obviously live tests, just because it's the most time consuming thing to do and I just wanted to get it out of the way. So I've just tested them dead test R1, R2s and recorded that. So we've just got the lighting, the alarm and stuff to put away, and then we've got some spares obviously to go in. As you can probably tell by this ring here, one's red, one leg's blue. We've had to extend a couple. That's extended a couple of earth. I've used the splice lines, you can see them up there hiding. So I've had to extend a couple of things, but it's quite minimal really. The rest of these now should all reach. These are just the 6 amp circuits. I've just started with the 32s. Left a couple of 16s spare for socket circuits or whatever in the extension when that happens. And obviously I'll have a couple of, I think I'll have a 6 amp spare, and I've got a 32 amp spare there which I've just left. Someone in the comments told me to feature this in the next video, so there we go, this one's for you. Time to tighten up with the torque screwdriver. So I'm going to start with the bottom. It's all 2.5 Newton meters, which is what I've got this set at. Just did that one already, so just give it a couple of little clicks, make sure. Right, you get the gist. There's no point showing that because I'm struggling with one hand. Right. So pretty much the finished product there. I've used these little number markers on top of there. We've got a spare 32, 2 spare 16s and a spare 6 for the extension. So I'm not going to say that again because I've said it about 7 times now. These little number markers, it's the first time I've used these. If anyone, they were quite expensive though, so if anyone knows where I can get these from cheaper, I think I'm going to start using them, because I do think if there's room for improvement, I'm happy to give it a go, and I think this is pretty good idea. I was going to put them up here, it's kind of pointless because it says the numbers right there, so I'm not bothering up there, just along there. So yeah, if you know where you can get these from at a reasonable price, drop us a link in the comments. Mains board, or the consumer unit should I say, is pretty much completely connected up. And instead of showing, I'm not going to show you a full sequence of tests and stuff because I've done that before and I'll probably do it again in the future. But I will show you the 2 live tests. Well, there's not the only 2 live tests, but I'm going to show you the ZE and Prospective fault currents, or the PFC. Well, I'm going to make sure, I've still not connected this up, but I'll do that in a moment. Make sure everything here is turned off, and I've disconnected the main earth. This is going to be the ZE first. So what we're going to do, I've wrote it down, Obviously this is no official report or record, but I'm going to write the ZE, prospective short circuit current, prospective earth fault current and the PFC, just as a demonstration. And I'm going to turn this on now, outside at the world's most dangerous meter box. And like I said, first we're going to do the ZE, and it's on a TNCS or PME, some people like to call it, earthing arrangement, so it should be less than 0.35 ohms. So I'm going to flip the camera, I'm going to set this to the loop feature, and we're going to put it on 2 high, which is a 2-wire high current test. Depending on which meter you've got, it'll be different settings. Obviously this is on a mega. So for the ZE, we're going between the earth, which is disconnected, over to the live. There, the mega auto starts. Some you have to press the test button, and that's 0.13, which is less than the obvious 0.35, which it should be on a PME supply, TNCS, whatever you want to call it. Now that KA there is not your earth fault current, because the earth is disconnected. It needs to be connected. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll run through them tests. Right, so to get the prospective fault current, PFC, earth connected back up, obviously leave everything switched off first. So first we're going to do the prospective earth fault current, which is the P, let me just make it a space, PEFC. So prospective earth fault current, same settings, ignoring the bottom reading. Now that's lower now that the earth's been connected, but we record the other one, is 2.13 KA. The only reason I'm writing these down here is just the ZE 13 ohms. I'm just writing these down for demonstration purposes for yourselves. Prospective short circuit current, which is between these two, live and neutral, or line and neutral, which is 1.53 KA. So the prospective fault current is actually that one, 2.13 KA. That's the highest possible current that could flow in the event of a fault. And the reason we need to know that, so the highest is 2.3 KA, and obviously the circuit breakers can only handle 6 KA. So we know that the maximum amount of current during a fault on this installation, for instance, is only going to be 2.13 KA, and it's not going to be higher than the 6 that they're rated for. Right, so that's pretty much the finished product right there. I was just about to put the cover on, but realised I've not put any of the fire seal in the back, so I'm just going to go and grab that out of the van now. But other than that, that's the upgrade done. I've yet to put my periodic inspection and RCD test stickers and stuff yet. I've done the stickers on the inside. Now, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all on the next video. Peace!